Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a cage? Like no matter how hard you push, how hard you try, you're still trapped in the same place, unable to escape, unable to move forward. I want you to know this: you are not trapped. That feeling of being stuck, of being confined, it's not a reality, it's a perception. Imagine right now, just for a moment, that you are standing at the edge of your life, peering out over the horizon. You see everything that could be yours, the goals, the dreams, the freedom, the success. But somehow there's an invisible wall between you and everything you desire. And the worst part, it feels like you can't even find the door. But I'm here to tell you something that will change your entire life today. The door is already there, it's always been there. You just haven't learned how to see it yet. So stay with me, because over the next few minutes, we are going to tear down the illusion of being trapped and step into a life of unlimited potential. When we talk about feeling trapped in life, it's easy to imagine an actual physical cage of prison with no escape, bars that confine you and keep you from reaching what you truly desire. But in reality, the trap isn't a physical one. It's not something that can be seen, touched, or even quantified. The trap is created in the mind. It's a mental construct, a set of beliefs and perceptions that convince you that you are stuck, that your options are limited, that your dreams are out of reach. This feeling of being trapped can be overwhelming, and it can show up in different ways, perhaps in your job, in relationships, in financial struggles, or even in the pursuit of your personal goals. No matter where it shows up, the core feeling is the same. You feel confined, restricted, unable to break free from the routine or circumstances that surround you. However, this sense of being trapped is not a reflection of your reality, it's a reflection of the way you interpret your reality. The truth is that the feeling of being trapped is often a perception that has been built over time. You may have been carrying this sense of being stuck for years, and it's been reinforced by certain life events or circumstances. Maybe you've experienced failure, rejection, or disappointment, and each one of those events added a layer to the belief that you are stuck in a place where change is impossible. But consider this: what if the trap is not real? What if the only thing that truly holds you back is your perception of what's possible? The reason it feels like you're stuck is because you haven't yet realized the power you hold within yourself to change. You've gotten so accustomed to the situation that you've stopped questioning the assumptions you've made about your life. The first step to breaking free is to understand that your mind is powerful enough to create the barriers that keep you feeling trapped. And if your mind can create these barriers, then it can also dismantle them. The real trap isn't the job you don't like, the relationship you're uncertain about, or the financial challenges you face. The real trap is the belief that you're powerless to change them. Once you realize that your mindset shapes your world, you begin to understand that the trap is not made of concrete or steel, it's made of thoughts, of beliefs that no longer serve you. And just like any structure, these beliefs can be taken apart, piece by piece. The key to breaking free from this trap is realizing that the power to change your situation lies within you. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you come from, or what has happened in the past. What matters now is how you choose to see your life moving forward. When you begin to shift your perspective and see the situation as temporary, you allow yourself to move beyond it. You stop identifying yourself as someone who is stuck and start identifying as someone who is on the path to something better. The trap dissolves, not because the circumstances change overnight, but because you begin to see yourself as capable of change. You stop waiting for life to change and start taking control of your own story. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to step out of this trap? What would it take for you to see the situation differently? And once you start answering these questions, you'll realize that the key to your freedom has always been within you. Reclaiming your power begins with understanding that you are not a passive participant in your life. Often we fall into the trap of believing that the external world controls us, our circumstances, our relationships, our failures, and our successes. We tell ourselves that things happen to us, that we're at the mercy of the economy, the decisions of others, or the hand we've been dealt. But the truth is, you are always in control of how you respond to what happens around you. It's not the events in your life that define you, it's how you choose to interpret them and what you do with them that shapes your reality. When we talk about reclaiming power, we're not talking about changing the world around you or waiting for someone else to give you permission to move forward. We're talking about taking control of your own thoughts, actions, and decisions, regardless of the challenges in front of you. It's about understanding that you have the power to shift your mindset at any moment. How often do we let fear or doubt take over? We see a challenge and immediately think it's too big, too complicated, too insurmountable. We let our fears convince us that we aren't capable of overcoming it. That's when we give away our power. We allow our fears to dictate our decisions, and in doing so, we lose control over our own potential. But the moment you stop allowing fear, doubt, and uncertainty to govern your actions, you take back your power. You realize that these emotions are just signals, they're not walls. They're merely indications that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. And it's that very discomfort that often holds the greatest opportunity for growth. To reclaim your power, you first have to recognize that your actions are your own responsibility. This means letting go of blame, resentment, and excuses. Yes, life can be unfair. Yes, there are circumstances beyond your control. But no matter what happens to you, you still have the power to choose your response. You can choose to rise above adversity, learn from it, and move forward with purpose. This shift in perspective, going from feeling like a victim of life's circumstances to taking full responsibility for your actions, is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. Once you reclaim this power, you begin to see that every choice you make can bring you closer to your ideal life. It's no longer about waiting for the right time, the right conditions, or the right opportunity. The power is in your hands to create your own opportunities. If the job you have isn't fulfilling, you have the power to learn new skills, seek a new path, or even create your own business. If the relationships around you are toxic, you have the power to set boundaries, walk away from unhealthy situations, and surround yourself with people who lift you up. If your financial situation isn't where you want it to be, you have the power to take small steps towards financial literacy, saving, and investing for a better future. Reclaiming your power means recognizing that you are not a passive observer in your life, you are an active participant. You are the one who makes decisions, takes action, and moves yourself closer to the life you want to live. Every decision, no matter how small, contributes to the path you are on. And when you begin to see that you hold the key to your success, it becomes easier to take responsibility for your actions, shift your mindset, and take charge of your future. You are the author of your story, and every new chapter begins with the realization that you have the power to shape the narrative. A shift in perspective can be the game changer that transforms your life from one of frustration and stagnation to one of growth, opportunity, and fulfillment. The truth is, how you see the world determines how you experience it. When you feel trapped, it's not always because the situation is impossible to escape, but because your perspective on it has become so rigid and limiting. The lens through which you view your circumstances can either empower you or keep you stuck. Changing the way you look at things, even slightly, can make a profound difference in your ability to move forward. When faced with adversity or obstacles, the natural reaction is often to see them as roadblocks, insurmountable, unchangeable, and defeating. We view challenges as things that are happening to us as if life has turned against us and we're now fighting a losing battle. But what if these challenges aren't roadblocks at all? What if they are actually the stepping stones that help us grow? What if the obstacles are the very opportunities we need to evolve, learn, and reach new heights? Shifting your perspective means realizing that challenges don't have to be feared or avoided, they should be embraced. Every setback is a lesson, a way to build resilience, patience, and strength. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what can I learn from this? When you approach problems from a place of curiosity rather than fear, you open the door to new possibilities and solutions. You see the challenge as a chance to improve, adapt, and even transform. This shift can also help you see the possibility in situations that once seemed impossible. Think about how often people give up on their goals because they believe that their current circumstances won't allow them to succeed. They convince themselves that their dream is out of reach due to factors like time, money, or resources. But when you change your perspective, you begin to see that those very limitations can be opportunities. Lack of time may push you to become more organized and efficient. Limited financial resources may inspire you to find creative ways to make things work. Even a lack of support might challenge you to develop self-reliance and independence. What once seemed like barriers can transform into the very tools that help you reach your goals. Shifting your perspective also allows you to stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances. Many of us fall into the trap of thinking that we're helpless or powerless when things aren't going our way. But when you adopt the mindset that you have the power to change your perspective, you realize that you are in control of your experience. It's not about pretending that everything is perfect or ignoring the struggles, but about choosing to see the bigger picture. You are not defined by your challenges or setbacks, you are defined by how you respond to them. Another powerful aspect of shifting your perspective is embracing a growth mindset. This mindset recognizes that abilities and intelligence are not fixed traits but can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. When you adopt a growth mindset, you begin to view failure not as something to fear but as an essential part of the process. Each failure brings you closer to success because it teaches you something new. Instead of seeing yourself as stuck in one place, you see that every experience, good or bad, is an opportunity for growth. When you shift your perspective, you stop seeing life as something happening to you and start seeing it as something you are actively shaping. The world may not always cooperate with your desires, but you always have the power to change how you respond. And this shift doesn't just change your experience, it changes your outcomes. By reframing your challenges as opportunities for growth and your setbacks as steps on the journey, you unlock new levels of possibility and create a mindset that propels you toward your dreams, no matter how far off they may seem. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. No matter how much you may want to change, transform, or break free from the feeling of being trapped, nothing will shift unless you take action. It's easy to get caught in the cycle of overthinking, waiting for the perfect moment, or hoping for an ideal set of circumstances. But in reality, change doesn't happen in waiting rooms or through contemplation alone. Change happens when you start doing, even if that action seems small or imperfect. The importance of action cannot be overstated, because it is action that propels you forward, even when you don't feel ready. One of the biggest barriers to action is fear of failure, fear of making the wrong decision, or fear of not being good enough. But here's the truth: the most successful people in the world aren't those who avoid failure. They're the ones who take action despite the fear of it. Failure isn't the end, it's a part of the process. It's how we learn, adapt, and grow. When you avoid taking action because you're afraid of failure, you deny yourself the opportunity to progress and learn. Action doesn't need to be big to be effective. Often we think we need to make huge, bold moves in order to change our lives. But the truth is, taking small steps consistently is far more powerful than waiting for the perfect moment or making a massive leap all at once. Small actions like reading for 20 minutes a day, making a phone call, writing a single paragraph toward your book, or dedicating an hour a week to your passion project build momentum over time. These actions accumulate and compound, leading to massive transformation. It's not about doing everything at once, it's about starting where you are, with what you have, and committing to move forward every single day. It's easy to feel trapped when you're stuck in a cycle of inaction. You may overthink every decision, waiting for clarity, waiting for more information, or waiting for someone to tell you what to do. But the more you wait, the more you reinforce the feeling of being stuck. Action is the antidote to this paralysis. It's the step you take to prove to yourself that you can do something. And that's incredibly important. It doesn't just move you closer to your goal, it shifts your identity. Every time you act, you affirm that you are someone who makes things happen. You are not defined by your circumstances or by your feelings of being trapped. You are defined by the actions you take to create your own path. When you act, you create momentum, and momentum is what moves you toward your goals. It's much easier to keep going once you've taken that first step. Even if you don't have the whole plan in place, taking that initial action builds energy that propels you forward. Often, it's when you take the first step that new opportunities start to appear. The act of doing creates clarity. You learn as you go, and each action gives you more information to refine your direction and your approach. Action breeds confidence too. The more you do, the more you realize that you are capable of handling challenges, solving problems, and creating solutions. Sometimes it's not about having the perfect plan, it's about starting with what you know and trusting that things will unfold as you take action. Each step you take builds on the last, and before you know it, the trap you once felt confined by becomes something you've learned to navigate. The key is not waiting for everything to be perfect, Perfectionism can paralyze you, keeping you stuck in the idea that you need more time, more resources, or more information. Action is what separates those who stay stuck from those who break free. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. So if you feel trapped right now, take the first step, no matter how small. Make that phone call, write that first word, step outside your comfort zone, or start that project. The power to change your life is in your ability to take action. And the more consistently you act, the closer you get to the life you want to create. You don't need to have it all figured out. What you need is to start. And the rest will follow. A resilient mindset is one of the most powerful tools you can have when navigating life's challenges. Life is rarely a straight path. It's a winding road full of twists, turns, setbacks, and obstacles. You will inevitably face times when things don't go as planned. There will be moments when you fail, when you fall short, or when you feel like giving up altogether. But it is in these very moments that resilience is born. Resilience is not about avoiding failure or hardship, it's about how you respond to it. It's about developing the inner strength to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going even when the going gets tough, and to maintain the belief that you can overcome whatever challenges lie ahead. A mindset of resilience doesn't ignore the difficulties or pain that come with obstacles. Instead, it allows you to acknowledge and face them head on without being overwhelmed by them. Life's challenges are not a sign of weakness, nor are they permanent. What defines resilient people is their ability to adapt, recover, and keep moving forward no matter how hard things may get. Resilience is rooted in the belief that every setback is temporary and every failure is an opportunity to learn. When you face adversity, the first step is to give yourself permission to feel. It's okay to be upset, frustrated, or disappointed. But don't stay there. Resilience means not letting those emotions dictate your actions for long. It's about allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel and then making the conscious decision to rise above it. This mindset shift is powerful because it stops you from staying stuck in negativity. Rather than letting hardship define you, you redefine yourself in the face of hardship. An essential aspect of building resilience is cultivating the understanding that setbacks are not signs of defeat, but rather stepping stones on the path to success. Each time you face a challenge and choose to rise above it, you're not only learning something new about the world, you're learning something invaluable about yourself. You discover strengths, perseverance, and strategies that you never knew you had. You build a toolkit of skills and mental toughness that will serve you in future challenges. What was once a seemingly insurmountable obstacle becomes just another part of the process. Resilience also involves reframing the way you see failure. Too often we see failure as a roadblock, something to be feared or avoided, but resilient people understand that failure is part of growth. It's a chance to learn, adjust, and improve. When you embrace failure as part of the journey, it no longer holds the power to stop you. Instead of giving up when things don't go as planned, resilient individuals see failure as feedback. Failure is not a final destination, it's a part of the process of success. Another key element of resilience is perseverance. Life doesn't always go as smoothly as we hope, and there will be times when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. But resilience is about sticking with it, even when the path seems unclear or the road seems impossibly long. It's the willingness to continue, to keep showing up, and to keep trying even when progress feels slow. Remember that progress is still progress no matter how small. Each step you take, no matter how seemingly insignificant, brings you closer to your goals. Finally, resilient people don't let the opinions or judgments of others dictate their actions. They stay true to their values and their goals, even when others question them or tell them to give up. They trust in their journey and their ability to overcome. True resilience comes from within, from an unwavering belief that you have what it takes to handle whatever comes your way. It's the strength to keep going when things are hard and the courage to stay committed to your vision, no matter how many times life knocks you down. Building resilience isn't something that happens overnight. It's a lifelong practice of learning to respond with strength, adaptability, and persistence in the face of challenges. With each setback, you grow stronger, and with each challenge, you become more capable of handling whatever comes next. Resilience doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. It means you will face them with the confidence that you can handle them and emerge even stronger. Embracing your potential is the most empowering decision you can make in your life. Too often, we limit ourselves by the beliefs we hold about what is possible for us. We underestimate our abilities, shy away from challenges, and let fear hold us back from reaching our fullest potential. But the truth is, you are capable of so much more than you realize. The moment you choose to embrace your potential, everything changes. You start to see yourself not as someone stuck or limited by your circumstances, but as someone who is capable of creating their own path, overcoming challenges, and achieving greatness. The first step in embracing your potential is to acknowledge the greatness that already exists within you. Each person has unique talents, strengths, and abilities, yet so many of us fail to recognize them. We get so focused on our shortcomings or compare ourselves to others that we forget to honor the gifts and abilities we already possess. Realizing that you have something valuable to contribute to the world is the starting point. Embracing your potential begins with the belief that you are enough, just as you are. It's about recognizing that you have unique skills, ideas, and perspectives that can make a difference. Once you acknowledge your potential, the next step is to stop letting fear control your actions. Fear has a way of convincing us that we are not capable, that we don't deserve success, or that we'll never be good enough. This mindset holds us back from taking the risk needed to grow and achieve. But fear is not a reflection of your true abilities. It's simply a signal that you are stepping outside your comfort zone and challenging yourself to grow. When you embrace your potential, you recognize that fear is not something to be avoided, but something to move through. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the willingness to take action despite it. As you embrace your potential, it's important to shift your focus from what you can't do to what you can. Too often we spend our time dwelling on our weaknesses, the things we haven't yet mastered, or the ways in which we fall short. While self-awareness is important, constantly focusing on your limitations only reinforces the belief that you're incapable of reaching your goals. Instead, focus on your strengths and find ways to build on them. What are you already good at? What brings you joy and fulfillment? By leveraging your strengths, you begin to unlock your full potential and take steps toward the success you desire. Embracing your potential also means stepping into your power and taking responsibility for your life. Many people wait for the perfect moment or the perfect set of circumstances before they take action, but the truth is that there is never a perfect time. The best time to start is now. When you embrace your potential, you understand that the future is not something that happens to you, it's something that you create. It's about taking charge of your decisions, your actions, and your life. You stop waiting for opportunities to come to you and start creating them yourself. Part of embracing your potential is also having the courage to dream big. Too many people limit themselves because they set goals that feel safe or realistic, but true fulfillment comes when you reach beyond the ordinary and dare to pursue what truly excites you. When you embrace your potential, you stop playing small and begin to think bigger. You allow yourself to dream of what you truly want, regardless of how far-fetched it may seem. This shift in mindset opens up new possibilities and fuels your drive to take action toward those dreams. Finally, embracing your potential means trusting the process. Success doesn't come overnight, and the road to your dreams may be long and challenging, but when you trust in your potential, you trust that every step you take, no matter how difficult, is leading you closer to your goal. It means believing in yourself even when things aren't going as planned, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and that your potential is limitless. When you fully embrace your potential, you begin to see the world through a lens of possibility. The limits that once seemed to define you disappear, and you start to understand that you are capable of achieving far more than you ever imagined. The only thing holding you back is the decision to take that first step. Once you do, you unlock your true power and start to create the life you've always dreamed of. Your potential is limitless. Don't let fear or self-doubt hold you back from embracing it fully.